everybody, welcome back, comic review time, and today we are here to talk about issues 1 through 4, the whole story arc of Daredevil Punisher. Alright, so I really dig this book. Apparently this ran a few more issues. I don't know how the Infinities things work, because I don't know if the Infinities came first and then they printed books or what, but there's apparently 8 issues of this, and 4 of them seem to only be digital, as far as I can tell. But these first 4 issues do tell a solid story arc, and a great story arc. As a matter of fact, an arc I would love to see done as the Netflix series, because essentially what you're going to get in this whole thing is, the Daredevil, basically there's this killer, it's some Russian name, man. It's your kind of stereotypical Russian name. Where is it? Anatoly or something like that. Anyways, we'll find it. We'll just say the evil Russian. He's gonna get a fair trial in Texas because he won't get it in New York. So Matt Murdock's gonna have him transferred, and basically he hears the sniper, the cock of a gun from a sniper who's trying to take him out. At first he isn't sure if he's going after Murdock or the Russian or the cops, but of course he figures out he's going after the Russian. Then he realizes there's no second shot, and basically through a lot of deduction he realizes, oh crap, it's the Punisher. So yeah, there you go. Now, basically, they get the guy in the armored car, and Daredevil takes off to try and stop the Punisher, and he's, doing his thing across rooftops and everything in his sweet black suit, finds the leftover shell, realizes the Punisher is gone, and basically he sends his new sidekick, who I knew nothing about, Blind Spot, out, but I really dig this character, to kind of be on top of the police transport and just kind of have their backs as they try to get him to the airport. But the Punisher shows up in his van and has like a freaking grappling hook thing that like shoots out and rips off the back of the van door, and there's a little shootout, and finally, all the cars, they crash and everything. Oh yeah, this is great too, because Daredevil stops Punisher by sticking his stick thing in the tailpipe, which essentially, gasses the Punisher out of his own van. So that's how they get him away from there, and it's a really intense, really fast-paced thing. And but then as they get into the city where the people are, a bunch of Russian goons show up to try and free the Russian guy, but Daredevil ain't gonna have it, man. By the way, I love this artwork, and I need to do the credits, don't I? Sorry guys, still getting used to how I want to do these. So Daredevil kicks a whole lot of butt, and then, Blind Spot goes after the main Russian, and he's kicking a whole lot of butt. But then basically it comes down to Blind Spot protecting the Russian, because the Punisher just killed the Russian's guys, and we are to be continued with the Punisher putting his gun at Blind Spot, telling him to get the hell out of the way. So let me get that out of the way, by the way. The credits, where were they? So again, I suck at names, so we'll try and say them. But we got Charles Soule, maybe, as the writer, and it's really good. Riley Brown as the layouts, and I'm reading this backwards, man. This is really tricky to read. I tell you what, there you go. There's the people. Let me see if I can see if I can actually say the name there. Pencils and ink is Szymon Kudransky. Cool. Well, really good work, because I love this cover. All right, so we move on to issue 2. But wow, I said cover, but I meant art in general. And this is called Seventh Circle, by the way. Seventh Circle is the name of this story arc. Daredevil's been hit on the head, so it's taking him a little while. He's getting his butt kicked a little bit because he can't really use his radar senses to figure out what the hell's happening. The Russian guy gets away from Punisher and Blind Spot while Punisher and Blind Spot are fighting. Blind Spot can apparently kind of turn invisible, but Punisher's starting to get used to that trick, and they're going to start kicking each other's butts. Daredevil gets his stuff back in time just to stop a knife from stabbing him right in the middle of his face. So, that's pretty helpful, because that would be unpleasant. But now he's got his crap back together, and the police are starting to show up and everything, so he's got to get out of there. Punisher and Blind Spot are fighting until the Russian, I believe it's the Russian. Hold on. Yeah. Cracks Frank Castle over the back of his skull. Somebody gets him. Oh wait, hold on. I skipped a page or something. Yeah, I skipped a couple pages. Yeah, he cracks Castle over the skull, and Castle starts chasing him down through the buildings. Daredevil's trying to get there, but he's still a little wonky in the head, so finally, as the Russian is pulling Punisher over the edge of the building with him, and they're both falling, Daredevil starts to figure out what's happening, but he needs another voice to triangulate, and Blind Spot calls out, "Daredevil," and I got it. So he swings down and, basically rescues both guys. He just kind of like lobs Punisher back up onto the building to hang off the ledge, and lobs the Russian guy to another building, and basically leaves Frank there to dangle. It's like, here, you can handle yourself. We've called the cops. And but the Russian guy almost gets away, but now Daredevil's got him, and he fights Daredevil a little bit, but Daredevil's like, come on, man. And finally they realize, hey, you better basically work with us, because otherwise it's the cops or it's either us or it's the Punisher. What do you want? And Daredevil gets really pissed and almost kills him, but Blind Spot kind of pulls him back down. And Frank is caught by the cops outside of the building because he jumped across the way through a glass window and everything. And the cops have him surrounded, and they're told to use lethal force if need be. Then we move on to issue 3. Dude, this is such a good story arc. I just really dig this arc. 7th Circle, Chapter 3. It should be 3. Am I going out of order? That doesn't make sense. You know what, guy? Did I? No. Huh, I just noticed 7th Circle, Chapter 1. Did they all say 7th Circle, Chapter 1? They did. Interesting. Oh, I guess maybe 5 through 8 is Chapter 2. So, Punisher, he's standing off against the cops. The others are up on the roof having their discussion. Punisher makes it inside the building, hides out in the basement, does the thing where he, trades his outfit for one of the cops' outfits, sneaks out saying, he's down there, go help. The Russian agrees to go with Daredevil tentatively, and they're going to try and make their way where they need to go. So they jump on a subway train that's, on the bridge, and they're riding the roofs. But Punisher gets away, and now the Russian has made a phone call while he was running to, the Crimson Dynamo. Apparently one of the Crimson Dynamos, because there's plenty. And he's arming up, and he's getting all his money, and there's a pretty fun scene where he explains why he charges so much, because one of the Avengers could get involved, all that kind of stuff, his fuel, his ammo costs, all that neat stuff. And but Punisher finds them. No, they get to the airport. That's what it is. But the Crimson Dynamo finds them on the train and starts trying to kick their butts. And, they all get to the airport yard. And Daredevil versus Crimson Dynamo is not going to work too well until Frank Castle comes crashing through the gate with the police van and knocks the shit out of the Crimson Dynamo, sending him flying. And, he finds out the Punisher's involved. He's like, you better pay me more. Okay, you pay me more? All right, and they go to fight. It ain't going to go well. Daredevil knocks out the Russian, and we're kind of left with this whole fight happening. So that's where we go in issue number 3. Moving on to the final issue of this part of the story arc, issue number 4. Dig that cover, by the way. Yeah, it is chapter 1, so very fascinating. I missed that before. So, yeah, the Daredevil tries to wake up the Punisher so the Crimson Dynamo can't just kill him while he's knocked out. Or Punisher starts to wake up just in time. And Daredevil finds some weaknesses in the suit and tries to attack, which at least just distracts him long enough for Punisher to get up and get his rocket launcher, which does the trick on the Crimson Dynamo. But of course, and the Russian's running away as the guy burns to death basically in the suit, kind of. I don't know that he actually died. It's not 100% clear. He probably did, because Daredevil is mad that Punisher is a killer. So they're going to fight it out a little bit. And, basically Punisher gets rid of his gun, picks up a knife. He's like, all right, let's do this. He's not really going to kill him, but he's going to fight, because Daredevil will beat the shit out of him if he lets him. So they have a nice fight, full page of just them fighting. That's really cool. And it continues, and Daredevil gets mad and just punches the shit out of him, knocks him out. And he's like, hey, you want to take care of me, or you want to take care of the Russian who's running towards the terminal to get in the tunnels under the airport? And he knocks Castles out, and the Russian is going through. He breaks down the door. He gets in the underground tunnels, kills a couple of security guards, dresses up as one of them, goes and hides out in the airport. But Blind Spot's already in there looking over all the security monitors with the police and everything. Doesn't take him long to find him and figure it out. So, of course, he basically grabs a family with kids, but then invisible Blind Spot pulls him away, distracts him long enough for Daredevil to actually get in there and, crack him with the billy club. And basically they catch him, and this is pretty cool too, this last little bit. Castle's got his sniper rifle out again, but Daredevil just steps right in front of it, and he's like, what are you gonna do? Here, you can shoot me. Here, you can even shoot me in the leg. What do you want to do? And then Punisher's like, well, I can always make my way down to Texas, and that's pretty much where we end, as the Russian gets taken away on the plane by the marshals. I love this series. Like I said, I think this would make for a great season on the Netflix show, where at least half a season or something, 5-6 episodes, they need to do a prisoner transport, but as a prisoner the Punisher wants dead. That would be awesome. Also, it'd be cool to see more about this Blind Spot character. I want to find out more about that. Go read some other Daredevil stuff and see what I can learn. And he'd be a cool character to see brought on the shows too. So that's what I think about that. I love the artwork in this. The arts and the color is just beautiful. It's really well written. It's a great fast read, just fast paced read. So I highly recommend this, even though I just told you the whole, well, I didn't tell you the whole story. I'm giving you the overall gist. It's the details that make it entertaining, plus all the art. You really want to take time to look at it. So I highly recommend this series, and I'm definitely going to look into those other issues and figure it out because I want to keep reading this. This was a lot of fun. So that's my thoughts on it. What are your thoughts on it? Have you guys read this? Are you gonna? Geek out with me in the comments like we like to do. Other than that, you can click the thumbs up button. Give me the thumb of encouragement. I do like to be encouraged. I guess I'm going to get out of here, read some more books, and I'll see you all later.